Aloha, aloha. Welcome to another episode of What Really Grinds My Gears. The title of today's episode really says it all, and let's get right into it and to the point. Diecast scalpers and resellers. I'm not what I'd call a hardcore collector. Yes, I do have some collections of Hot Wheels and Matchbox, along with a few other brands, but 95% or more of those vehicles are bought strictly for racing on the Obsidian Mountain Raceway or at other raceways that I participate in. But mainly, they're here at the OMR. There are a few diecasts that I do collect, like the opening chassis funny cars, not these new ones that they riveted shut. I also like Daytonas and Superbirds, and of course, any Pacific Island related vehicles like Maui and Sons, Hawaiian Bread, stuff like that. But even with those, I only buy one, maybe two of. If they're premiums, I'm only buying one because I have a limit. I have a budget. Buying one premium keeps me from buying 6 mainlines. Now, a mainline Superbird, I'm likely to get 2 of, but that's it. I'm not looking to hoard them or resell them. I want to race them, customize and modify some of them, and then race those. Now, some will become track deco, especially if it's a premium, with the real riders, doesn't do well on a road course track, but I really like the car, so I'm going to grab it. What really grinds my gears are these greedy-ass collectors and resellers out there grabbing everything up as it hits the shelves or even before it gets on the pegs. It got so bad in the past few years since I've been hosting Griffin Soul Diecast Motorsports, I've given up any hope of finding anything new and cool, such as the F1 5-packs. Now, I did manage, by the blessings of the race gods, to find one 5-pack, and that was almost 2 months ago from the date of this broadcast. But that is literally the only one I've seen since their release, and I found that at a local Target store just by happenstance. I just happened to be walking by the aisle. I didn't even see it at first. And then I turned around and I looked up just to give a double check, and bam, there it was. So thank the race gods and the mountain spirits for that. Now, finding anything at my local Walmart is even worse. I swear they got employees that are scarfing the treasure hunts and chases and the likes before they even get pegged up. Like many of you, I grew up on the Gen 1 Transformers, the original TV show. When Hot Wheels announced their collab with Hasbro to license and distribute Hot Wheels Transformer vehicles, I was stoked, and I was so looking forward to finding and having them at the OMR. Bumblebee, Optimus, Fortress, Maximus were mainly the ones that I'm looking for. But the only time I see them is on eBay or other reseller sites at astronomical prices. People, you really grind my gears. This shit is out of control, and it needs to stop. So please stop. Now, I know my pleading's not going to work because I'm pretty sure none of the collectors or scalpers I'm talking about are going to listen to this broadcast, but it really grinds my gears down to the last tooth. You greedy ass wankers, you got to leave some good shit for others to find in the stores at the MSRP. That's manufactured suggested retailed price. For those of you that may not understand what an MSRP is. That's what we pay for a mainline when we find it in the store, not what these resellers are charging 100, 300, 1,000% over that MSRP. They're just a bunch of knuckle-dragging, greedy-ass, amoebiatic pricks, and they're ruining the fun for everyone else. You collectors, you want a car for your collection, cool. You want a second car so you can open one and possibly mod it and still have one in the package? Fine. I do that myself. I keep one stock. I'll keep one for modifying and racing. But when you take every hot 5-pack in every store and take every treasure hunt, chase, and even Zamax, you've crossed the line of respect with me and the majority of your fellow diecast enthusiasts. And quite frankly, you're lower than subterranean excrement that the mole man walks on. But now talk about blessings of the mountain spirits and race gods. The day before this broadcast, I had to jet out and pick up the girl's son from work, so I made a pit stop at my local Wally World. I was going to grab some strip lights for the track. And what the hell, let's go see if they restocked since F-Case. I just happened to look up at the top shelf at some overstocked 5-packs, and holy shit, there's an F1 5-pack. Yoink! You betcha. That was a prayer answered by the race gods. There was nothing else on the pegs. I could literally count the cars and pegs with my fingers and just a few toes. Now, like me, I bet a bunch of you would also like to find those new Ferrari Hot Wheels that are being released. Well, good luck. Unless you're buying whole cases, you don't stand a chance in heaven or hell to find them in the wild. You got collectors stalking stores at the opening hours and grabbing everything before anyone else has a chance to even find anything for themselves. The 2 5-packs that I found, literally over a span of 4 months, were sheer luck that no one got to them before I found them. Now, I naturally wake up early mornings. I've been programmed for over 40 years of working in the landscaping field, pretty much rise with the farmers. So I've gone out a few times in the past to catch these stores as they open. And sadly, I've come across a few of these assholes more than a few times. I literally watched a guy load his cart up. He emptied out a Zamac dump bin into his cart. Every single one. I dare ask if he left any for anybody else. Of course, he just walked away, smirking his greedy little ass off. Talk about grinding my gears, you rude, soulless, greedy prick. But the worst of them have to be the collectors and resellers that are actual employees of these stores that don't even let the items get to the sales floor. If that's you, you're even lower than the scum the mole man walks in. Holding your stash in the back rooms for your collector buddies or until you clock out and you can cash out with your ill-gotten gains. Dream crushers is the nicest term I can think to call people like you. Quit grinding my gears. Leave some stuff for other people. Now I'm going to drop the gear, and I'll admit, not all the collectors are lower than buffalo dung stomped under an elephant's foot. It's just 99% of them that really grind my gears. So hey, drip dicks, like I said, leave some for the other people. I'm never going to buy your stuff at your outrageous and greedy extortion prices. I want to be able to find Ferraris and Transformer Hot Wheels and other cool finds out there on the pegs and the shelves, and so do millions of other people out there looking for that cool and special find. I digress. My gears have worn down and I've burnt out the tranny, so I'm going to close out this broadcast by saying to my GDM family and friends, Mahalo e aloha with much appreciation. I thank you for tuning in tonight, for all your support of the GDM channel. Thank you. Now, over the next week or so, I'll be putting together a track update and catch you up on the haps of the reconstruction of the new OMR, and along with a few other things over the next couple weeks as I fine-tune the new OMR. So until the next race, aloha from Obsidian Mountain Raceway. Have a good day, a good night. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and leave your comments. Share a smile with someone. And always keep your roof to the sun. Mahalo.